For individuals over 60, there's one sleep position strongly advised against, as it can subtly damage the heart muscle throughout the night. This posture negatively impacts respiratory function and blood circulation, becoming a hidden source of chronic fatigue, dizzy spells, or shortness of breath upon waking. The core issue isn't age itself, but body position during sleep. A simple change can lead to profoundly positive transformations. For those over 60, sleep posture is no longer just about comfort. It becomes a key aspect of maintaining vitality. With age, the human body loses its former resilience to strain. Joints lose elasticity, circulation slows, and the heart muscle must work harder to ensure all systems function smoothly. What was harmless at 40 or 50 can now create subtle yet significant stress on the cardiovascular system, spine, lungs, and even the brain. Yet, night after night, millions of older adults fall asleep in positions that unknowingly exacerbate existing problems. Consider this paradox. One lies down to rest, hoping for full bodily recovery. But what if the chosen position gradually compresses the chest, restricts vital oxygen intake, and forces the heart muscle to overwork? This state can hardly be called true rest. Rather, it's continuous strain. And over time, this stress accumulates, leading to serious consequences. On the left side, right side, back, or stomach, each position has its advantages and disadvantages. However, for an aging body, these pros and cons are greatly amplified. After 60, the body's compensatory abilities during sleep begin to decline. The spinal column loses elasticity. Lung tissue loses its former capacity for free expansion. Blood circulation in the limbs can be significantly hindered depending on pressure distribution. Yet, the vast majority of people underestimate the direct impact of sleep posture on heart function. Certain positions compress major arteries. Others can impede normal diaphragmatic breathing. Some provoke increased gastroesophageal reflux, indirectly adding strain to the heart muscle. Over time, poor sleep posture is associated not only with chronic fatigue, but also with a significantly increased risk of hypertension, atrial fibrillation, and even chronic heart failure. One might feel fine now, even sleeping through the night, but the body relentlessly registers every negative impact. A position that slightly, by just a few percent, reduces blood oxygen saturation might not wake someone, but it forces the heart muscle to work harder for many hours. It's like asking the heart to run an invisible marathon every night. This is why sleep posture becomes paramount after 60, unlike any other period in life. One is no longer merely regulating physical comfort. They are controlling vital parameters: blood pressure, circulatory efficiency, airway patency, and internal organ stress levels. If this aspect isn't controlled immediately, negative consequences will manifest not in dreams, but in daily waking life: chronic fatigue, shortness of breath, arrhythmia, and other more serious symptoms. But there's encouraging news. A simple change in position can ensure better nocturnal rest, minimize strain on the heart muscle, and help the body recover more effectively. If there's one position consistently cited in scientific research as the most unfavorable for older adults, it's sleeping on the back, also known as the supine position. It might feel intuitively comfortable, or one might have slept that way most of their life. But after 60, this position subtly transforms into one of the most threatening to cardiovascular and respiratory well-being. The reason is as follows. When lying on the back, gravity pulls the tongue and adjacent soft tissues of the larynx towards the back of the throat. This narrows the upper airways and significantly increases the likelihood of developing obstructive sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and restarts throughout the night. Sleep apnea isn't just snoring. It's a critical interruption of oxygen supply. And each time oxygen levels drop, the heart muscle is forced to urgently compensate for the deficit. Blood pressure sharply rises. Heart rhythm becomes chaotic, and the body repeatedly releases stress hormones, particularly adrenaline. It's like experiencing a miniature fight or flight episode every few minutes. Over time, This can lead to persistent hypertension, various arrhythmias, myocardial hypertrophy, and even ischemic stroke. To this, add the natural aging processes of the body. Older adults already have less elastic blood vessel walls, slower recovery of normal heart rhythm, and reduced functional lung capacity. This means the negative consequences of insufficient oxygen saturation manifest with greater severity. In fact, scientific studies convincingly demonstrate that older adults with undiagnosed and untreated sleep apnea are significantly more likely to develop atrial fibrillation, a dangerous heart rhythm disorder that can trigger blood clot formation and chronic heart failure. And the key posture associated with exacerbating this condition is lying on the back. However, the negative effects don't end there. The supine position also promotes the backflow of stomach acid into the esophagus, provoking nocturnal gastroesophageal reflux. This reflux not only disrupts sleep quality, but can also cause airway inflammation, destabilize normal breathing patterns, and increase the workload on the heart muscle. It's a vicious cycle, and all of this happens while one is under the illusion of complete rest. Thus, if one regularly wakes up feeling tired despite sufficient sleep, 7 to 8 hours, or wakes with a dry mouth, sore throat, or rapid heartbeat, or if a sleep partner notes episodes of breathing pauses at night, this could be the likely cause. And correcting it doesn't require medication, specialized devices, or an immediate doctor's visit. The solution begins with a simple change in body position during sleep. It's important to note that there are certain exceptions to this rule. Individuals suffering from specific spinal conditions or in a post-operative period may be advised to sleep on their back. However, for the vast majority of older adults, especially those with high blood pressure, heart conditions, or chronic snoring, avoiding back sleeping can be a critically important factor for maintaining cardiovascular health. If sleeping on the back subtly but constantly strains the heart muscle, what alternative position is most preferable? The vast majority of medical experts and researchers unanimously agree. Sleeping on the left side is one of the most cardioprotective sleep positions, especially for the older generation. This may seem like a minor change, but its beneficial impact is quite significant. Let's consider what happens when one sleeps on their left side. Firstly, the heart muscle is positioned slightly higher relative to other internal organs, allowing gravity to reduce compressive pressure on the myocardium and optimize blood circulation. The aorta, the main artery transporting oxygen-rich blood from the heart to the rest of the body, has a natural curve to the left. Therefore, when one sleeps on their left side, the resistance the heart muscle must overcome with each contraction is reduced. This means the heart doesn't need to function with such intensity throughout the night. This leads to decreased pressure, reduced overall load, and increased efficiency of the cardiovascular system. Secondly, lung tissues can expand more freely. This promotes more efficient oxygen absorption and minimizes the risk of shallow breathing or apnea episodes. For older adults with sleep apnea or impaired lung function, this alone can play a colossal role in feeling refreshed and mentally clear in the morning. Thirdly, it optimizes digestive processes and significantly reduces acid reflux symptoms. The stomach is anatomically located primarily in the left part of the abdominal cavity. When one sleeps on their left side, gravity helps keep stomach acid within the stomach, minimizing episodes of nocturnal heartburn and promoting deeper, more restorative sleep stages. This is important because nocturnal reflux can enhance sympathetic nervous system activation, which subtly keeps the heart muscle in a state of heightened readiness and stress. However, the benefits are not limited to the above. Studies have shown that sleeping on the left side promotes optimized lymphatic drainage. This is the body's natural detoxification system. It helps more effectively remove metabolic waste from the brain and internal organs during sleep. For older adults, whose natural detoxification processes slow down, any action that improves natural cleansing processes at night beneficially impacts brain health and contributes to more complete cardiovascular system recovery. In contrast, sleeping on the right side can show mixed effects. While for some it may potentially reduce pressure on the heart muscle, scientific research indicates that it can also compress the vena cava, the largest vein responsible for returning deoxygenated blood to the heart. Such compression can slightly restrict venous blood return, especially in individuals with pre-existing heart conditions. And if one is prone to palpitations or heart rhythm disturbances, this position may exacerbate these sensations. There's no need to spend all 8 hours of sleep perfectly fixed on the left side. Such a requirement is unrealistic. But the habit of falling asleep in this position, using a special body pillow to help maintain proper spinal alignment, or even slightly elevating the upper body when sleeping on the left side can, over time, lead to tangible positive changes. It's a simple, accessible, and extremely effective strategy. If one has preferred sleeping on their back or stomach throughout life, transitioning to left side sleeping might seem uncomfortable or even impossible. However, the truth is, the body has an amazing ability to adapt, and the transition process can be surprisingly easy with a few thoughtful adjustments to the sleep environment. The key is to avoid forced change and instead gently guide the body toward a new habit. It's recommended to start by optimizing pillow position. Most people who struggle with side sleeping often use an unsuitable pillow. To ensure proper body alignment, a pillow is needed that effectively fills the space between the head and shoulder, keeping the spine straight without bends. Too flat a pillow will cause the neck to sag, while an excessively high one will cause tension in the shoulder girdle and possible nerve impingement. It is recommended to choose a medium firm pillow with an anatomical neck cutout or one specifically designed for side sleeping. Such support will not only make side sleeping tolerable, but truly relaxing. Now, let's move to body position. To comfortably stay on your left side throughout the night, it's advisable to use a full-length body pillow or place a regular pillow between your knees. This helps align the hip joints, reduces pressure on the lower spine, and prevents unwanted rolling over. The human body strives for symmetry and balance. Provide it with the necessary conditions, and it will maintain the desired position. If one still rolls over in their sleep, there's a small but effective trick. One can place a rolled towel or a small pillow behind their back. This creates a soft barrier that will prevent rolling onto the back without waking the sleeper. Some people even sew a tennis ball to the back of their t-shirt, not to cause pain, but to train the subconscious to avoid that position. This can be seen as a kind of sleep reminder. If one is used to sleeping on their stomach, transitioning to side sleeping might take a few more days, but it's still entirely achievable. In this case, it's recommended to use a wedge pillow or place a second pillow in front of you. This creates the illusion of pressure on the front of the body, helping the brain feel grounded as it does when sleeping on the stomach, but without twisting the spine or compressing the chest. Another important tip, start sleeping on your left side during the most critical sleep window, the first 2 to 3 hours after falling asleep. This is when one spends the most time in deep, restorative, slow-wave sleep. Even if they roll over later, they've already provided their body with a significant period of heart-protective rest. It's also helpful to create a pre-sleep ritual that reminds the body of the new goal. One can lie on their left side while reading, meditating, or listening to calm music before bed. This creates a physical and mental anchor, gently cementing the new position as safe and normal. And here's the encouraging news. The human brain is trainable even at 60, 70, or 80. In fact, since older adults often wake up more frequently at night, each brief awakening provides an opportunity to return to the left side position. With a consistent approach, the body will begin to prefer this posture. What once felt uncomfortable will start to feel natural and comfortable. Sleeping on the left side is a powerful first step. But if combined with one evening ritual, it can create a restorative routine that doesn't just protect the heart. It helps restore, strengthen, and support the entire metabolic system during sleep. What is this ritual? It's consuming a slow-digesting, high-quality protein 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Specifically, we're talking about casein protein. Not whey, not soy. Casein. Let's break this down further. During sleep, the human body enters a natural state of fasting. No food means no fuel. For young people, this isn't a big problem. their bodies recover quickly. But for older adults, this nocturnal hunger becomes a hidden threat. Muscle breakdown accelerates, recovery processes slow, and the heart, which is essentially a muscle, becomes more vulnerable to stress, inflammation, and nutrient depletion. But there's a scientifically proven solution. Casein protein digests slowly, over 6 to 8 hours, releasing a steady stream of amino acids into the bloodstream. These amino acids support muscle mass preservation, aid cardiovascular repair, and regulate metabolic processes throughout the night. It's like a four-drip for the body precisely when it would otherwise be starving. And when casein protein is combined with left-side sleeping, the effect doubles. Left-side sleeping optimizes heart position, reduces acid reflux, and improves circulation. Casein protein saturates the system with the nutrients needed for tissue repair, muscle maintenance, and blood sugar regulation throughout the night. Together, they create a metabolic environment that is protective, restorative, and deeply aligned with the body's natural healing processes. Consider the effect this has over time. Better muscle preservation means a stronger heart. A stronger heart pumps blood more efficiently, lowering blood pressure and oxygen demand. Improved nocturnal recovery means more energy, faster healing, and less morning stiffness. An improved blood sugar regulation reduces the risk of insulin resistance, a major cause of heart disease in older adults. This combination is especially effective if one engages in strength training or walking during the day. The body receives a signal to grow and strengthen during movement, and then receives the building blocks at night for actual repair and growth. There's no need to consume a full meal. A scoop of casein protein mixed with water or almond milk is sufficient. Or, if food-based options are preferred, low-fat cottage cheese or plain Greek yogurt will also work. The key is to ensure about 30 to 40 grams of protein are consumed, with at least 2.5 grams of leucine to trigger muscle protein synthesis. This isn't just advice, it's a comprehensive strategy. And when one combines a smart sleep position with thoughtful nocturnal nutrition, they transition from passive aging to proactive recovery night after night, accumulating positive results over time. So, one has transitioned to sleeping on their left side at night. They've added casein protein before bed. But how do they know it's working? The results might not manifest in bright neon lights, but the body will certainly start leaving clues. These will be quiet signs, subtle improvements, signals that recovery is happening unnoticed. The first and most noticeable sign is how one feels in the morning. Not just whether they slept well, but how quickly they start moving. Do they get out of bed without the usual stiffness? Do their joints feel freer? Are their legs less heavy? These are signs that nocturnal inflammation is decreasing and that muscle tissue is being preserved, not broken down. One might also notice that their pulse is calmer, not racing, not pounding, just steady. This happens because with improved sleep posture and nutrient delivery, the nervous system spends less time in fight or flight mode and more time in rest and recovery. Over time, resting heart rate may slightly decrease, an excellent sign of improved cardiovascular efficiency. Another signal is a reduction in nighttime awakenings. Left-side sleeping and slow-release protein help stabilize blood sugar levels and prevent acid reflux, two common causes of nocturnal awakenings in older adults. One might find that sleep becomes deeper with fewer interruptions, even if the total number of sleep hours remains the same. Then there's the energy level the next day. Older adults often consider low energy a normal part of aging, but it's not. If muscles are preserved, blood sugar is stable, and the heart is under less strain, one will start to feel more charged, not just rested. They might find they have more motivation to move, walk, and engage in activities. This is physiology reporting that recovery is happening. Over the next few weeks, if one tracks their blood pressure or blood sugar levels, they may also notice improvements. More stable readings, fewer spikes. This isn't magic. It's the result of reduced nocturnal stress on the cardiovascular system and improved metabolic regulation due to better nutrient timing. And if one engages in strength training, that's where it gets really interesting. They might start recovering faster between workouts, feel stronger during the workouts themselves, and notice improved balance or posture because the muscles they're building aren't subtly breaking down every night. It's important to remember that none of this happens overnight, but within 2 to 4 weeks, many people start to feel changes. Within 8 to 12 weeks, they can measure these changes. And after 6 months or more, the difference in strength, independence, and vitality is something that isn't just felt. It's seen in the mirror and in how confidently one moves through the world. Knowledge is power, but only if applied. Now one knows that how they sleep and what they consume before bed can subtly shape their heart health, their strength, and even their independence. But the real victory lies in making this recovery ritual automatic, so it works for them night after night effortlessly. The key is to stop treating it as a new habit and start treating it as an integral part of who they are. One is not someone trying to sleep better. They're someone who values strength, heart health, and long-term independence. And such people don't leave recovery to chance. So, how does one make this permanent? Start by linking the new ritual to something already done, something that happens every night without fail. For example, brushing teeth. This is the perfect moment. It's recommended to keep casein protein powder in a shaker next to the toothbrush. That way, as soon as teeth brushing is done, one is already halfway to supporting their nocturnal recovery. One can set a simple reminder on their phone, on a sticky note, or on the bathroom mirror. Not because it will be needed forever, but because in the early days, consistency trumps willpower. A small nudge is all it takes to build momentum. One should make the routine enjoyable. Choose a protein flavor that is truly liked. Drink it slowly. Let it become part of the pre-sleep relaxation, not just another task. It's not a punishment, it's protection. This carefully crafted ritual is not just a set of actions, but a profound act of self-care whose beneficial echoes spread to every cell of one's body while they are immersed in sleep. And if ever tempted to neglect it, one need only mentally fast forward 10 years. Imagine oneself stronger, with upright posture, able to move independently, remaining active, engaged in life, and in full control of their own destiny. This future is not a random turn of events. It is the direct result of many small, yet extremely important decisions made consistently over time, just like this one. For ultimately, true longevity is not merely about adding extra years to one's life. It means filling those years with genuine life, moving through one's 70s, 80s, and even 90s with a sense of inner strength, clarity of thought, and full presence in every moment, rather than with anxiety, physical fragility, or inevitable decline. Therefore, tonight, one should make a conscious decision. Lie on the left side and consume a serving of casein protein. One should sleep not just as an ordinary person, but as someone who purposefully invests in their future well-being, striving not just to survive, but to truly thrive. And when tomorrow morning arrives, and one feels a little stronger, a little more confident, and significantly more alive, they will know the true reason for these changes. It is the result of scientifically backed recovery, now organically woven into their daily evening ritual.